Oh, sweet nectar. Let's make this a good video. Welcome to the Hobbies Spirit Show, episode 3. That's 3 for all you Americans. So today there's going to be a really exciting episode. We're having a little bit of change of scenery here, get a little bit of light, allow the vitamin D in because we're in Canada and it's cold as all hell and we're not getting much of that sunlight. So I wanted to take the chance to get it today. I'm going to show you how to actually physically do an exercise in regards to the body pillar. And then we're going to kind of go over what I've been fighting through and some of the tips and techniques that I've used to fight through my own mental game and actually get to start this whole thing. So we're going to start off with the mind pillar. Now, with regards to the mind pillar, the hardest thing that I have probably ever started has been Hobbies Spirit, because it's been something that I've wanted to do for a long time, but I've never really had the guts to actually go out and put it on my personal profile page, which I did last week. So I kind of want to go over the steps and how I got there and that type of thing in order to actually have the balls to come out and do this. To show all you guys watching, my goal is to be able to improve myself, mind, body, and spirit. And if I can kind of take you guys along with the journey with me, and if I can help even one person do that for themselves as well in the right way, hopefully I'm doing it the right way, then I think it'll all be worth it. So the first kind of step to this is going to be what I call the North Star. It's kind of the thing that's going to light your way. You could also call it your calling. Anyway, it'll be something that you've been thinking about for a really long time. You've got an itch that you have to do this. One day I'm going to do it. One day I'm going to do it. If you say those types of things, then that is your calling. That is your North Star. And I think it's really important that if you're being urged to do something by a greater power, whatever you want to call it, that it's your duty and your job to follow through and do with it, because that is what you are meant to do. And basically what you have to do is understand that you're meant to do that and that you have to take that leap of faith. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of big, scary challenges. What is my family going to think? What are my best friends going to think? What are the haters going to say in the comments? You can almost feel, those are the biggest obstacles a lot of the time. Is just your own mental game. What are people going to think? And you have to get over that fact. You can also feel trapped in a certain situation. So, all of us have to keep daytime jobs. And if you want to do something on the side, you have to make sure that you're going to do that. And you could feel trapped in that right now. But what I've been doing recently is actually getting up at about 5:30 in the morning in order to, fulfill my goals and my routines and things like that in order to make this all happen. So take those scary obstacles, and the way to kind of overcome that is to stay grounded in yourself. So if you have this itch and this calling, chances are that you've been doing this for quite some time already. You've looked into it, you've been, interested in this kind of thing for quite some time now, and to the point where you actually feel like you have to do it. So make sure that you stay grounded in knowing that you're meant to do this, and that this is, your interest. And if you're interested in something, then you should put it out into the world. Make sure that you use all the tools at your disposal. So Google is there to be able to help you out with different types of things like that. And then staying grounded in a spiritual sense makes a whole different world. It makes a world of difference, because you take yourself and you make sure that you're calm, that you're rooted before anything that you do, and that will really help out with that as well. And the biggest thing is your passion. So what you want to do is you want to take those things that I've talked about before, you ignore the scary challenges, you stay grounded, you use your tools, and then you move forward as quick as you can with all your passion. You do have to realize that you're going to have to be patient, which I know sounds like a bit of a opposing obstacle. Move fast and hard and passionate, but also stay patient. But it's very true. You want to do as much as you can in the time that you have with your passion and your love, but also understand that nothing's going to happen overnight. There are no overnight successes. And then what you want to do is you want to allow different ideas to flow and come through and allow for growth for yourself. and understand that what you think on day one or a year ago, even when you started to look at this, you might have a different idea, a different mindset coming into this, and just know that it's okay to change your mind, to change yourself, and have different patterns and habits and everything like that, and that it probably is going to come a time where you're going to be a much different person as you take on this type of journey. And also know that there is a 100% chance that you're going to fall back into that number 2 thing, which is the scary challenges. You're going to feel trapped again. At some point, you're going to hit a wall where you're not sure what you're doing, and you're going to feel like, is it worth it? Can I keep going? It is. Keep going, fight that through. Look in the mirror, understand that you are the person that's meant to do this, and understand that you're amazing. And then that'll help you get through that kind of second trap and fall, and I'm sure it comes many, many, many more times. And the other thing is going to be, don't forget or don't be afraid to ask for help. There's lots of people out there in the world that have done this type of thing before. You know, nothing is reinventing the wheel these days, and people are so easy to access as well. Reach out and DM some people, find out exactly what they did to live their journey and their dream and their life kind of thing. And also in a spiritual sense, call upon your spirit masters, your spirit guides. Just kind of say, what the hell am I supposed to be doing today? How can I make sure that I'm being of service? And also, that's the biggest thing. If you are coming out and you're doing something just to get yourself by, to get some extra money, it's not going to work. You have to back everything you do with service. What are you doing today to help other people? And the universe will make sure to take care of you. So for the body pillar, I wanted to give you some practical advice this time. A couple days ago, this marked exactly 1 calendar month, January 6th to February 6th, where I started my fitness and diet, and I've actually lost 15 pounds. I was 210 over the holiday break, and now I'm all the way down to 195, which is a great amount because I think I've also gained a little bit of muscle, or feels that way anyway. So what I wanted to do was show you some of the things that I've been doing on the actual exercise side, and the biggest impact that it's had on me, I think this time around, has been having my own gym. I said I was going to start this slowly and really work my way up, and so the biggest thing that hasn't had an impact for me has been using one dumbbell. So I haven't had both. So in doing this, you actually have to use a lot more balance, a lot more core, and really make sure that your overall body is a little bit more functional than when, because you're pulling 2 at once, everything stays balanced and you don't have to really work any extra. So that's been a big thing. And there's been 2 key exercises that I've absolutely loved doing this, and I want to show you those now. So the first one is going to be a single arm bent over row with a little bit of a twist into it. So when you're working back and you're doing this type of an exercise, you want to make sure that as you get down, your back is totally flat. It's as if you could, balance something on top of your shoulders up there. You don't want to get a hunch because that's going to hurt yourself, and you don't want to give a hunch the other way because you'll probably hurt yourself that way too. You're also going to want to have a little bit of bend in your knees so that you're stable. Now, when you do it, I want you to start with your arm in this position. So it's going flat up against your body. And then as you do the movement, I want you to twist as you turn so that it's flat up against your side. So you start in the bottom position, making sure that you stay steady and making sure that you stay balanced. You're not pulling like this. You don't want to sway. You want to stay totally straight. So as you do, pull up and twist. The ending movement, you want your arm to be perfectly perpendicular to the floor. Down, twist up, down, twist up. So I'd recommend throwing that into your workout routine just to make sure that you get a little bit of balance, a little bit of core exercise added in with the back exercise as well. Second exercise has been a single leg Romanian deadlift. And my assistant is coming to help out. So when you do this, you want to get a steady base, and then as you drop with the deadlift, you set up like a normal deadlift, shoulders feet shoulder width apart, and you want to make sure that you put all of your weight directly onto your one leg and put your other leg straight back as you do it, and then drop the weight in front of you, making sure your knee is a slight amount bent so you don't get any injury by keeping it stuck up like that in the lock position. And go down with the dumbbell in the arm of the foot that you're going down. So you just go straight down, making sure to keep your balance, and then go back up straight. When you're doing that, make sure that you re-correct your balance by putting your foot down in between each rep. So you're out and back up. Using the same principles that you would for a deadlift. So making sure that as you come back up, your back stays straight and you kind of lock your hip at the top moment. It's going to really work your hamstring and your glutes to give you that nice butt for summer or vacation. So thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of the Hobbies Show. I really want to appreciate and say thank you to anybody that has subscribed or is going to subscribe right after this. Make sure you keep watching. So tune in next week, same bat time, same bat channel.